It's the DMT-99. I have a couple other products from this manufacturer, and I always find they're kind of a cut above the economy end of test equipment. I always like their packaging, and their electronics is superb, but sometimes they don't get it right with the software. So this is you get a standard set of meter leads with it. Nothing unusual. Got a power button here. You can turn it on with that. In the charging mode, this turns from red to green when you're fully charged. USB port right here. A little bump out for non-contact voltage. This has all the features that any voltmeter of this type would have. This is 10,000 counts. Super nice because you're always getting 4 digits. And it's auto ranging. That's getting pretty common now. It does have these bump outs, Simple things like this make meters a lot easier to use. You can clip your leads in there. It also angles it up a little bit so you don't have a problem with viewing it with lights, and it's a little bit easier to see. There's a screw slot here for attaching it onto some cabinet or something. I put this little magnet there because I'm always working around things that are magnetic, and it's nice to have the instrument being held by something. So we'll turn it on. It always comes up in the last mode that was used. So we're in monitor mode. So you see this big green or yellow, what do you say? So we go down in voltage. At 10 volts, I had it set 10 volts, 12 volts. Little beeper comes on. Same thing in high range. The colors aren't really striking on this. I really don't have much use for this. If you were a production line technician, this would be good because you don't care what it does. It just, as long as it's not too high or not too low, that's fine. I wish it had graphing in here so you could see it, a line going back and forth between those two ranges to give you a more visual of what's happening rather than just reading off the scale. So let's go into menu mode. So we can select regular, that's your standard DVM. Go down here to recording. So now we're in recording. Now we can press it again. And you have this 35 seconds of scope. It's going along there. If I just change this about 10 millivolts, it bops up to the top. This is a lot like having a scope. You're measuring DC with an AC scope, and you don't know what the range setting is. You have little places here where you can record the voltage. You got hold, and so there's recording the voltage here. So kind of nice if you don't want to be writing down numbers. The graphing, you can't send that off to a computer or anything, and like I say, this scale is meaningless because it keeps adjusting for from the highest and lowest voltage, which could be anything. This could be 12 volts, it could be 10 millivolts. You just don't know. And so I think they really miss it. It's a marketing gimmick, something that the software people came up with. Certainly no one that uses a meter would enjoy this. See, it's going down to just a 10 millivolt sensitivity. See, this will be banging around. You won't know what's happening. So I think the recording of this is pretty much a gimmick. It's pretty much useless. Anytime you have some graphics, it helps out a little bit, but you can't get the information out, and visually you can't see what's really happening. so you can stop, and restart it again. I just think this whole section just is totally useless to me. So, but I love the meter. This is a terrific meter, and there's other meters that don't have this extra, and I still think that beats out those meters.
Comparing the FNIRSI DMT-99 to the Fluke 12B digital multimeter. I've had this Fluke for a long time. It's always been accurate. Let's see how they compare. So that one gets 12.61 volts. And let's check the Fluke. 12.61 volts. Pretty nice. Now the Fluke, I've got the rotary dial. I have to set it to volts. Interesting thing about the FNIRSI, you can set it to auto. You don't have to worry about setting it. It'll figure it out. Switch straight to DC volts. Take it back off. Hear the relay reset. Switch back to auto. Pretty slick.
Temperature test and frequency. This is testing the magnet. When you close the circuit, the signals gonna note it aligns there. Like this. That's super cool.